Our invocation this morning, Mr. Jim.
So I just,
I'll let him get his coffee and sit down, and then he can.
I'll have to take my paper out. This is a very large font. Good morning.
Morning.
Lord, as Rotarians, we are generally blessed with a life and opportunities unknown to many. Also, as Rotarians, it's an expectation that we be of service to mankind. Let us renew our obligation to fulfill that expectation with a new commitment to help others in our community, our nation, and our world. Help us to share not only our tangible wealth, but also untangible riches of knowledge, leadership, and creativity to make our city, our nation, and our world a better place. Let us always remember that we are blessed and that charity is more fulfilling than decadence, and the golden rule, a much richer yardstick than any bank account. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And of the things I think, say, and do,
Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Jim.
I agree.
Astros won.
7-6. Wow. I didn't step for it, but I'm glad I didn't.
We have three. I'll wait. I'll do this. There we go. Oh, we're adjourned?
Well, we have a visiting district governor, Claudia Kennedy. That's
We'll be standing
right.
for you next week.
And Rick Martin is here as a guest of Mike Conrad. And Judy Quinn is here checking up on Dan Quinn.
All right, Rick is a second time. As we all know, Rick was a Rotarian with the Crescent Club, president of that club. So he's visiting clubs. Second time around, pretty good for us.
Rick, thank you for coming. Everybody in the room needs to give him one.
Rick has something we don't. He's got a brisket ribbon. So.
No wonder I'm being I do want to recognize Claudia. Thank you for coming today. She's learning some of our video and skills, I believe, and next year everybody will be standing for you.
And I'm a governor-elect.
Right.
I'm not the
That's
governor.
right.
Yeah.
I'll let Dell finish you right what you. Sorry about that.
It is. I don't know how Ralph does it.
Okay, we have two birthdays on the 1st of November. Dan Quinn and Dan Farley.
All right.
Member anniversary, October 31st will be my 15th year with you.
All right.
On November 1st, Bridget Ruggiero will have her second year. Wedding anniversaries. On the 26th of October, we have two wedding anniversaries. Beth and Michael Allen will be celebrating their 32nd wedding anniversary.
Wow.
That old now, Michael. And Carrie and Chip Person will be celebrating their 26th.
Today?
Today. 26th of October.
It's today. And when my alarm went off this morning, she said, "Really?" I said, "Oh yeah, I got a rotary on it." See you later.
Announcements. Any announcements? We got anything exciting going on right now?
What's happening this week?
Is anything happening?
I'll make a little announcement. Obviously, we have pig stock coming up, but we have not officially announced our Gate City Rotary Hunka Hunka Burning Rub team roster. And so this year, we've got a pretty large team. We've all come together. It's coagulated pretty nicely here at the end. And we'll be cooking Boston butts or pork, ribs, chicken, brisket, chili, sides, and a top secret dessert, because we have people from other clubs here, we can't talk about that, right? So, but anyway, I wanted to introduce our team. I don't see, we don't have Chris, can't get no justice here this morning, but Chris is like co-team captain. He's helped an awful lot. Where's Johnny Bones Nossick? There he is, Johnny Bones Nossick over here.
Darn
We have
God.
Dale Low and Slow Melser. Okay. All right. And Ken Kong Kinka back there. He's hard to miss. He ain't so wide, but darn if he ain't tall. Where's Hot Sauce Simpson? There she is. All right, there's Hot Sauce. All right, where's Steve Sweet Tooth Scott, our dessert man? There he is. All right, there we go. And unfortunately, Steve Tire Iron Works is not here this morning, nor is Gino Vino to go Renault. All right, so, and then, you know, I've got another member here, and he didn't really like his nickname, and I finally came up with something. Where's Chris the Torch Neal? I'm sworn to secrecy. I can't tell you the other things that we talked about on that. So we had Smiling Erica Parker. I thought of 1,000 things I could use with Erica, but Smiling just seemed to fit her the best. So, and Dale Mustang Hopkins. There he is. All right. And oh, where's Kelly Harrell? Kelly Harrell's not here? Doggone. So that way, you know, if you use that, you don't know whether he's using your nickname or her nickname or their nickname or something like that. How about Judy Signs Up Rumley? Is she here this morning? There we go. Thank you. Judy's going to do some great signage for us. Jeff Snap Spillman over there. He'll take some pictures for us, right?
I'm gonna be out of town, no.
I don't know. What happened to Blister and Bridget Rosario? Is she not here this morning? All right, and Blake, Bacon Blake Hunt, and very importantly, there he is, Ralph Pork Chop Jones.
There's a reason, don't make any comments about it.
And last
There's a reason for the pork chop.
Chop and Chip Vale. We're going to have him on the cleavers.
Hey, all that being said, we've got about 45 minutes. Chip couldn't name himself, so it's our day.
There you go.
Chip.
Can't give yourself a nickname.
So give me some, start firing off some, think about your happy dollars. We can think of something to think of Chip.
There you go.
We
Y'all
gotta
come
go,
on
we gotta
out.
get, he can't give himself his own name.
That's right. We have a big time Saturday. Please come out, bring friends, spend money. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Yeah, you want me to?
Foundation, yeah, polio, you would. Polio.
Yeah. Kelly's not able to be here today again. We're winding down our End Polio Now campaign. As you know, we set a goal now of $5,000. We're at $4,800. And there's 75% of our club members have donated to this initiative. So that's incredible. And you know what Kelly says, he wants everybody to contribute if it's no more than $5 to the campaign. We'd love to have 100% of our folks. Now, I don't know if it's going to be next week, but if you get your $25 in, you get in the drawing for the night stay at Grandover. You get the spa treatment, you get dinner and all this kind of good stuff. So for you that have not given me a check, I'm going to give you a chance, and I'm going to email my address, so if you want to send it to me this week, I'll get you into the drawing. And but this is incredible, and I thank you for Kelly for all you're doing to help end polio. Actually, Tuesday was World Polio Day, and we are only down to 11 cases this year. And when you think about the number of kids that we have immunized, I think that's $2.5 billion since we started, 2.5 billion children since we started this effort 30 years ago. This is our 30th year anniversary of being involved with ending polio, and we will get that job done. So thanks to everybody that has made a contribution to this initiative.
Mike, most of the people here are too young to know what polio did to our peers.
That's correct.
No.
That's exactly right.
Mike, is it, did you drop it down to 25?
He told me 25 yesterday. It was 50, but I'm gonna go with the 25. If you did 25, you're good to go.
Well, notice you haven't given anything $5.
You know what? I think that's
Minimum.
Do I get 2 tickets in the pot now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I was getting ready to ask. One
I want-
chance per $25.
There you go. I
want
think it'll
two.
be a chance per $25. Good. This is us.
Chip just wants a ribbon.
All right, any other foundation dinner? I believe we're set.
We have a table of 10,
Right.
and if anybody else wants to go, we can get you, I can send that reservation in to Margaret Patchett.
Good deal.
So we were the 3rd club to get our reservation in, so we should have a very good seat.
Sounds great. Do we want to do the Halloween feud before the football?
I can do it now. If you want to do it.
Yeah, you're ready.
So we completed week 7 of our football pool. We had, we had 24 games. Somebody, I meant to note who, pointed out we had an incorrect game. So it's a lot put it together, so forgive us for that. Give us a pass, that'd be awesome. So we only were able to judge 23 games. We had 21 people participate. So the game that was wrong, we had Maryland against Minnesota. I think that's coming up. That hasn't been played yet. So our winner of the Dud Award this week is not here. So it was 8 correct. It was Gail Stansel. So she doesn't normally play. It was fun to see her on the playing in the pool this week. So I hate that she's not here. I didn't see her. So the next in line for that is our very own Ralph Jones.
Don't
10 correct.
Because I voted on the Minnesota game. Minnesota Maryland.
I will go back and check that.
You were wrong. I was wrong there. I think the
So
loser.
then that puts us for our runner-up. We had a tie with Mid and Ben. Ben took it away because he won the tiebreaker. So I have for Ben, I did see Ben. Hey Ben, so I have this family meeting bag for you. Compliments of Lisa Simpson.
All right.
And that was with 18 correct. I didn't mention that. And then I saw our winners walk in the door. So this week's winner is Tony B with 19 correct. And I just have to point out that he, again, for the second time, only missed 1 college game.
Wow.
Very cool. So I wrote a notepad for you.
Cool.
Now, I did, so each of me, I wasn't able to get to our closet right away, so I just got the new sheets on the tables, please play. If you will notice, our tiebreaker this week is it Grimsley and Page? So, play, should be fun.
That's one I'll win.
Yeah, all the sentimental people you have to put
I was there.
Not in high school.
All right, just because of that remark, we're gonna play the bus.
We don't have enough to do.
Yes, you do. You gotta round and round. And we'll play the, Judge Hassel's table here. Honorable Mr. Hassel. All right, options, player, pass. Games? Hey, as far as those football players, with this position, you don't do anything but groceries, so you get to watch the game. Name something that makes a haunted house scary. That was easy. Y'all like the board.
I've learned this game.
Good answer. All right, chainsaw.
The guy not naked?
I'm looking, I thought it would be on here. Hey, y'all handle the buzzer for me. I'll look there. There's one.
What did he say?
He said chainsaw. Which, that,
We question the validity of that poll now.
scary music and noises. Ding, ding, ding. It's on. I'm making sure. Yep.
Ghost.
Ding, ding, ding.
Skeletons.
Ding, ding, ding. After round 10. Both campfires. All right, don't ask me to repeat it.
Spider web.
Ding, ding, ding. Spiders, oh gosh, you're gonna have to make the call, it's spider web. All right, the answers you guys missed were, darkness, people jumping out at you, strobe lights, fog, and bats. All right, thanks a lot. We'll move to a different thing next time. Happy dollars.
Happy dollars! That's what I'm talking about. If I figured this, you crap out.
Back in the day, I was a young white boy at Page High School. That was a long, long time ago. And we had a haunted house down at the Paisley House across the First Presbyterian. And that was back when Page High School and Greensboro Day School met together. And I bet we had 400 kids in there down in the basement. And it was my job to run the chainsaw. And I had a Homelite chainsaw. I took the chain off of it. And when kids would come through, it was my job to come out and like that. 3 times I set the fire alarm. And 3 times I got one of the deacons or elders out of bed, the property deacon out of bed, and the fire department. We had the fire truck there 3 times. Before, and now they don't have Young Life there anymore.
Buster the Deacon was my father.
What's that?
It was my dad.
Judge Hassel.
Well, Big Stock is going to be a rousing success this year, and we sure enjoyed going last year out to the farm. Unfortunately, this year we're going to have to miss it. Many of you know that over the years I've avocationally dabbled in my life on the stage, and where I had done a good bit of that is at the Carolina Theater. I first set foot on that stage as a teen in 1978. And I've got another chance to do it this Saturday night at the same time as Big Stock, as they are hosting a huge 90th anniversary extravaganza, dramatic, theatrical, musical gala to celebrate. And it's also, I think, a fundraiser, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We did the same thing for the 75th anniversary, for the 90th, and it's a lot of fun to get back.
So I don't know if this has happened to anybody, but I thought it was kind of funny. I was at an event the other night, and as soon as we got through saying the Pledge of Allegiance, it got quiet, and I was the only person talking, and I went, "Is it the truth?" And I was like, have it.
No, that hadn't happened to anybody else. Pretty sure. That's hilarious.
I'll do one for Tommy.
All right.
Tell him your ID.
We thought a potato chip person.
That's a good one, Mike.
Well, you know, when those storms came through earlier this week, I called up Grandpappy to see how he was doing. He said, "Well, I'm doing great, but Grandma, you know, all she's been doing is just staring through the window ever since the storm started." He said, "You know, if it gets much worse, I'm gonna have to let her in."
So I got 45 minutes to introduce Nancy. I haven't been up at the big table in a long time, so I'm just going to take my time. It is my pleasure this morning to have Nancy Lettieri from Children of Vietnam. Nancy and I have known each other for probably I don't know, 12 years now. We joined the board together about the same time. And my superpower is being able to identify talented, smarter people than me, and that's why I'm here with you people, and that's why I have a beautiful, smart wife. And as soon as I got on the board, I realized that Nancy shouldn't be on our board. She should be our executive director, and it took a couple of years to talk her into it. But in 2010, she became the executive director, and she has run the show for Children of Vietnam since then. I've been back to Vietnam 8 times. Judy's been 5 times. I would bet Nancy's probably clocked 20 trips in the last 15 years. So without further ado, I want Nancy to come tell you about what you guys have been doing for the last 9 years for Children of Vietnam and what Pigstock accomplishes. So Nancy, with you.
So thank you so much, Stan. I want to add my happy dollar because Children of Vietnam is 20 years old as of this Sunday. So where do you put your happy dollars? This is my
I'll be glad to get that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I have a little PowerPoint presentation here I'm going to just use as I speak. So let me make sure I know how to get this to work. Here we go. Right. Let's see. So is this the clicker? Who's the technology person?
Circle, the top of the circle,
Let's just try it.
and you have to point it towards the laptop.
Oh.
Maybe it's the.
Turn it on.
Or so on.
There's no beams on the house.
Steve will be the, Steve's the clicker.
Yeah, I'll just
Just
sign
point
on
to
it.
Steve, just point to Steve, just point, I know.
I just wanted to make sure I
So you can just, you hit that button right there, and that'll click it over.
Okay.
Okay, so, okay. So this is us, and you can click that 3 times. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So that's our birthday candles. We're 20 years old as of this Sunday. So this is a very special year. We're kicking off a year-long celebration. And Pigstock, I feel like it's one big happy birthday party for us. So thank you so much, guys. Really like that. And we really are planning on celebrating the past, but also looking to the future. And I have to say that Gate City Rotary's been with us a long time. You've been partners in all that we've been able to accomplish in all the lives of the children that we've been able to change. I'm going to click that. So I want to thank each one of you, and click that again, and we're going to just flip that. There you go. All right. So I'd like to share with you a few of our accomplishments, and I mean our, because truly you guys have been here. Gate City Rotary's been right from the start an amazing partner, supporting us in every endeavor, and every child space that we have seen that needs help. You've been there all the way. So go ahead and click that. So the first thing is in, go ahead and click it, yep. Kindergartens. We build kindergartens in rural Vietnam, central Vietnam. These are places that the kids either have, if they have a facility, it's a dirt floor and a tin roof. Not really great for kids to learn in. And you guys helped us build one of our first kindergartens. And it's been, an average lifespan of a kindergarten is about 20 years. So it's 500 children that we've been able together to provide a better academic place for them to learn and grow and play and just be kids. Then also, you've helped us educate boys and girls, many thousands of children. And in particular, there's a special group of girls that we care a lot about. We call them informally the Hoa Cui girls because that's where they live in this little area. But truly, it's called the Bright Scholars Girls Club. And these are 25 girls. You've been there with them every step of the way. Gate City Rotary from 6th grade, and now they're in 11th grade. And it's been phenomenal to watch them grow up from long-haired, big-tailed little girls who could barely look you in the eye to very confident young 11th graders who can say, yes, I think I want to go to university and I'm going to study to be a teacher, or one in particular a doctor, or I want to figure out how to give back. These girls are very conscientious of the opportunity you've been able to give them. And if they get into university, we'll be right there with them, making sure that they have that opportunity. So we're changing the lives of 25 girls with a bargain, because we always ask for more, that they have to identify 5 young women in their lifetime and mentor those young women. So think about it, 5 times 25, and we're going to ask those 5 girls to pick 5 women. So it's 5 times 25 times 5 and on and on. And if we're lucky, maybe in 20 years, every single young girl in Vietnam will have a mentor and be successful and self-confident and independent and contributing back to their community. So that's really exciting. We're also, if you want to flip that over. Oh, there's our 25 girls. There they are. And I think you know that person way in the back. Who's that young man? Young man peeking over the top.
I see an old man. I don't see a young man. They held him back.
All right, let's flip that over to the next screen. And, okay, you know, there are still, in Vietnam, there's a lot of malnutrition and stunted growth, and in particular, stunted growth. So these kids are not even getting off to a good start. And you've been amazing in providing milk, daily milk, to a group of kids in an orphanage that we support. And these are young children, infants and young children. So every day they get daily milk just to help their bones grow and ensure that they have the right proteins to develop. So thank you very much. That's an important aspect of what we do. And then, oh, there's a little baby. He just got over, I think, some kind of smallpox or something. I remember going into that room and all the kids were pocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, don't they do vaccines here? Anyway, we'll flip that over. And there we go. All right, we have a very large program for children with disabilities. And again, Gate City Rotary has been a partner making this happen. And they're a group, we have a special fondness for young men and women who are disabled and how do they enter society. And you've been able to provide vocational training through incense machines. Incense is very big, it's a Buddhist country, so there's a lot of incense put up in the Buddhist temples and in the homes. It's an industry that has a constant need, and these young men, you can see that young man there, that's an incense machine over to that little green thing. It's amazing to watch, and that's sort of the product. You can flip over and I'll show you another photo. This is a little training vocational center, and these young men are learning to make incense, and while they're training, they get paid a small stipend for that support, and the rest goes to support the facility. But you've been able to provide these machines. That's it right there. And they put the paste in, and then I don't know, then they put the little straw thing, and it clamps down, and out it comes. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I've seen it happen, and it's pretty amazing. And these kids are pretty proficient at it. The young boy in the prior picture actually got so good, not just at the incense, but at repairing the machine. So he turned into the local mechanic to keep those machines well grilled, and you afforded that for these young men. Thank you very much. The other, yet it goes on. You guys have been really around a lot with us. There are 2 centers that, the center that these young boys were training is called the Red Cross Vocational Training. And then this is the Dava Center. You've been able to provide mushroom facilities for them, mushroom growing. Mushrooms are huge in Vietnam. I think around the world people love mushrooms. So these centers have learned to how to grow the mushrooms, and then they sell them, and they also use them for food. And this is the Da Nang Agent Orange Victims of Agent Orange Association, and they have a daycare center for children with disabilities. And by providing this mushroom facility for them, they feed the children, and then it gives the center a little extra cash also because they sell them in the market. This is actually, has anyone seen mushroom growing before? It's amazing. These are the pods. They're like sawdust pods, and they grow on these big strings. And that's a huge mushroom right there. Those are mushrooms, and they can produce about every 2 days. And it's amazing to watch them. And they just have them missing, so the kids go out and they miss them every day. So thank you very much for supporting that effort. It makes a difference. A lot of these things are all long-term. You invest in them once and they're around for very, very many long years. So we might be counting kids now, but in fact, that's only 1 year, and we're talking multiple years. Then also, we've got heart surgeries, so life-saving events for these kids. There's a lot of congenital heart defects in Vietnam, probably because of Agent Orange, so they can't make that connection during the war years. Oops, this is not heart saver. I thought we were there. Okay, so this parasite remediation. Interesting enough, parasites are still a big deal in Vietnam, and the best way to avoid that is to have twice a year these little tiny pills, mebenzenol or albenzenol. And so we have been doing this together in one district in Da Nang called Ho Vang. Ho Vang is the most rural district. And Da Nang is, you say it's a city, but you go 2 miles out of the urban ring and you've got water buffaloes and rice paddies and banana trees, and so it's very tropical. And this is where the problem of parasites exists, though it is in the city. And not too long ago, our staff was in a big government meeting, and they were talking about the issues that they faced, and one physician stood up and said, "I'm from Ho Vang District, and I'm here to tell you that we joined a citywide study, and our kids have the smallest percentage of parasites, even in the urban areas." And that is because of Gate City and Children of Vietnam working in that area for 10 years, distributing twice a year these little tiny pills that cost 2 cents a pill, and keeping these kids healthy and ready to learn. So thank you very much. It's great. These are the little packets the kids are holding up. Okay. We distribute it, by the way, in the school systems, and we work with the school systems and the local health clinics to distribute all of those, about 26,000 pills a year to these kids. And so we work also, very important to know, we work in tangent with the government and the school systems and local quasi-charity associations. So we do a lot, but it's because we do partnerships, and we really believe in engaging the local community. And these are the heart surgeries I was referring to, these kids. Some of the surgeries are quite simple, but it saves their lives. It makes them have the opportunity to be a normal child and run around and get out of breath and play tag, just like every other child around the world. So, I'm gonna put that. Clean water, major issue in the rural communities. So again, this is a parasite problem also. We were way up in the mountains, right near the Laotian border, and there's a little tiny village. It's mostly ethnic minorities, and in this case, it's a minority called Katu. Very sweet, loving people. They have their own language. The kids usually go to school residentially and then go home on the weekends because it's too hard to walk. We're talking mud paths and dirt roads, and if the monsoon season comes, you really don't go to school, so they stay in school. But this school and this little community that surrounded the school had no clean water. So with your Gate City's assistance, we installed this water system right here in the school. The school maintains it, and so now about 500 kids have clean water, and the rest of the community comes in, and they pay a small little, 50-cent fee for maintenance, and they have access. They bring in their liter bottles, and they have access to clean water. So we've not only affected this 500 kids, but the entire community surrounding that. And that's because of Gate City Rotary, so thank you very much. And this is another example. So this is I just want you to know, this is the community right here, It's way up, that's the top of the mountain. So we're really at the top. That's the school, and then around here is a little village. And then this, of course, that's rice paddies. This is what the kids sleep in overnight. Ceilings falling down. We did some repair at this school as well. And there's some of the boys, and that's the water filter. Hygiene in this area is also important. The Katu, you know, you say, well, where do you go to the bathroom? And everybody's embarrassed to ask, to say, but you know, basically they go round. That's this, oh, we just go round. Or near the river. And I said, well, what happens when you go to the river? Well, it goes, washes away. What happens to the village downstream, you know? So this is an example of a little private toilet. These are the vegetable fields right next to where the bathrooms are. So they have a problem and they realize that. And so with the help of Gate City Rotary, we've been working at helping build household toilets, basically, with septic tanks and water catchment areas so that water isn't an issue. And hopefully, that's an example. It's like a little outhouse, but it has a real latrine, a little two-chamber septic tank, and has a life of about 10 to 15 years before it has to be desludged. So this is really important for us, yeah, and for them. So that's all of our accomplishments in your partnership. I know there's so much more because you've just been there right of the way, but those are the big highlights. So I want to say thank you very, very much and give you a round of applause. Thank you. There's a little bit more. How much time do I have?
You're good. You're good.
All right. Okay. So, you know, as we celebrate the past, I said earlier, we're going to look to the future. And doggone it, Gate City Rotary is right there again with us, looking at the future. There's a program that we run called Empowering Foundations for Women and Their Children. This is a micro-enterprise program helping single moms, some of the most vulnerable in Vietnam, find a sustainable path out of poverty. We are helping to help them learn financial literacy, household management, business management, even healthcare and nutrition and child development. And we are giving them small grants to buy the initial capital. So if they have a sugarcane business where they squeeze it and they sell sugarcane drinks, we're going to help them buy that machine. Or a vegetable stall, or maybe they have a poultry, they sell ducks, and we'll help them get their first round of ducks or eggs, whatever it is. And we basically work with each woman and find out where their skills and talents and interests and motivation lie. And if they have a good attitude, we enroll them, and we are with them for 2 years, actually 2 to 3 years. We help their children go to school, we give them health checks, and Gate City Rotary is going to help us do that. We hope we will get approved for a Rotary International grant that you've been helping us pull together. And with that, it'll be, let's flip that over. I want to show you a couple things. Oh, that's our little fancy thank you thing. Let's do another one. There we go. Well, this is an explanation of why we work with single moms. We are a children's charity, but children don't control their environment, but their moms do. And their moms really, really work from before sunup to after sundown. A typical day for most of these women is get up at 3, come home, feed their kids at 4 or 5, and go back out and get prepared for the next day, come home at 7 or 8, go to bed. This is an example of some of the businesses that women start. And we'll just keep on going. We have, you know, Vietnam, like a good part of Asia, is having a wonderful economic resurgence, but there's a huge gap, and this is why we pick single moms, because they are truly vulnerable with children. Why are they single moms? Sometimes children out of wedlock, sometimes divorce, sometimes a tragedy, one story, there was a monsoon coming and the parents divided and conquered to go pick up their kids at school. They were at two separate schools. The father went to one school, the mother went to the other. Before the father could even get to the school, he was washed away in monsoon floods and died. You know, mother had no skills, the family was penniless. Another time, there was a woman married to an alcoholic and abuser, and she divorced him. The father's family came in to the house and took everything that they owned and kicked her out of the house. She was penniless, and then she had no family in the area. These things happen, very sad. Another time, a man came in, it was an abuse situation. The woman kicked him out of the house, but he came back and broke every single thing in this. And these are not fancy houses. These are, you know, from this wall to here. That's how long, you know, how wide they are. They're not very big. He came in and brought all the windows, the doors, the furniture. The fan, there's no air conditioning, so the fan, there was nothing. So we're living in a house with nothing. These are the stories we hear. And every day we hear these stories. Always when we first meet these women, there are tears. It just never fails to happen. They've never had an opportunity to explain the challenges and have someone listen to what they have to face every day. But Gate City Rotary, with Children of Vietnam, we are going to make that a difference, and we're going to listen to these women, and we're going to make it, with the Rotary International grant, 100 women. We're going to put them on the path to a good life, so that their children have a good quality of life now and into the future. There we got some this is ducks. I've met this lady. She's a pretty successful woman right now. Can keep flipping this. We got, and one more. Yep, keep on going. We can just do another two. That's her. I love this woman. I know her. She's very proud. She's just one of those women you know right away. Just give her a little bit, and she's gonna fight for her children. So this is the grant. This is what we're hoping to receive from Rotary International. Cross our fingers and our toes and hair and whatever else we can do. It's going to cost us about a little over $2,000 a woman. That's over 3 years, where all of the things that, all of the types of support that I mentioned earlier will afford for these women. And here's another one. Keep on going. So together, we are building a brighter future. We reach nearly 30,000 children a year, and with Bay City Rotary, we're going to keep on doing it. So thank you very much.